Hey friends, my name is Jackson and welcome back to my channel, Gender Not Found. So, I'm going to attempt to make sense of my muddled thoughts because it's all been a lot over these last few weeks. Because first there was the leak in the shop, then my ceiling was falling down, and then most recently, I was gonna make this video a few days ago, but then it turned out that I couldn't because of a bunch of reasons, mainly stress, and also the landlord was supposed to be here yesterday to take out my old AC unit, but did not get the chance because his car broke down, and he is terrible at communicating, by the way, so he didn't bother to say anything about it. And when me and my mom tried to text him, all he would say was, "I'm driving," even though I literally asked him what time he was going to be here because he said he was going to be here at 11 originally, but he wouldn't tell me a time. So, and then he was like 4 hours late, and then 6 hours went by and he was still late, and then 7 hours, and then you get it. And honestly, it's just so literally the entire day yesterday I just spent the day waiting for my landlord that never showed up. And honestly, it's just exhausting, and so anyway, and on Sunday, my mom told me that in that everything about the pipes and stuff, because they're old and they need to be changed out, and also I was mentioning my ceiling might need to be changed out because it's falling down in several places, and I already had a serious leak on my couch, like back in early 2023, I believe. I had a leak coming from my roof. It was over my couch, so it was right up there. So it wasn't like it was far away from my bed and all the rest of my stuff, but I already was dealing with a bad leak. So there was that. And anyway, my mom told me on Sunday that I need to move out for a month or two in June, and so now I have to fucking live with her, so I'm not gonna be able to post any videos while I'm living with her. I mean, until she goes away on her trip in July, then I can post some videos, but honestly, I just can't stop thinking about the fact that now I have to go live with her for at least a month, and I'm gonna be fucking stuck with her. I mean, it's already bad enough that I have to go live with her for a month after my surgery. It's fucking obnoxious, but to think about that I have to go live with her now this summer over like everything, and then I have to go live with her for at least a month, and I'm gonna be fucking stuck with her. And also, the guest room is also her office, so I can't really just do whatever I want in there because I have to worry about her coming in at any time, or at least knocking on the door and distracting me and disturbing me. And also, I can't watch the TV at any time, and I can't even watch her TV because it doesn't have the actual TV on it. But I do have to move all my stuff out, so since we're gonna get a moving truck, I might ask her if I can plug my TV into there for now. Like, if she can set up my TV either instead of hers or like in front of hers so I can watch TV, while I'm stuck there because my mom doesn't have access to any TV on her TV, but I want access to TV so I'm not just having to be on my laptop or phone or whatever. At least while she's at work, I want to be able to watch TV. And I'm just thinking about the fact that I I love like all the reasons I love living alone are because I can basically do whatever I want, whenever I want, but all that's about to go away when I'm stuck living with my mom, so that's gonna fucking suck, and I'm really annoyed about that, and I'm gonna be fucking stuck with her, and it's exhausting to think about, and I just don't want to be stuck with her. There's still a chance that subsidized housing will come through, in which case things are gonna be a lot different. For example, I was looking up how much subsidized housing actually costs, I think sometime last year, and it's about 30% of whatever you're getting. So if you're on ODSP, it's going to be about 30% of my $1,100. I think I'm getting about $1,100 right now, so probably like $330 if I have to pay 30%. That's going to be about that, I think. Um, so I'd still have like 1,100 minus. That'd be like 800 or 700, somewhere between 700 and $800 um for that. So that'd be a really good amount of money, and I can put some away in my savings without like having to be so stressed about money and stuff, and maybe I won't even need to get a part-time job. And also, if I do end up moving in with my mom for June and July, I do not have to pay rent while I'm not living here, so there's that. So that's gonna give me another $500 to $1,000 to put in my pet fund, depending on how long I have to stay. Like if I go into subsidized housing, I'm gonna be able to save money more easily, and also um and also if I do move in with my mom, I'm also going to be saving a ton of money. I'm going to be saving more money if I move in with my mom, but I'd rather not have to move in with my mom, so hopefully it doesn't come to that. Hopefully subsidized housing comes through, and it still might, in which case that's going to change a lot of stuff, and I'll post a vlog about that if it does happen. Like, if subsidized housing does come through, and if subsidized housing comes through, it means I'm gonna have a bedroom with an actual door on it because there's like a doorway where a door would fit right here, but I don't actually have a door, and I'm not sure if I can install one. Like, I don't even think I have the money for it, even if I wanted to install one. Like, I have almost $300 in my savings account right now, but that's basically my pet fund. Like, every single penny I put in there is going towards my pet. So, uh, there's that. And actually, it's funny because I had people asking me online, like, "Oh, I was talking about getting a snake online, and then people were asking me, and I was talking about how I want to save like $800 to $1,000 for like everything snake related, and people are like, "Oh, well, you can get a snake for like a couple of $100s," and yeah, I can get a snake for a couple of $100s. Emphasis on the snake part, but like, if I just get a snake, I can't just let it free roam in my apartment. It's not like a cat or a dog. You need an enclosed space for your snake. And you also need to decorate the tank because they need a lot of clutter to feel safe. And I have a 20-gallon, so I feel like he's gonna feel safer in a smaller tank. And if I get a male, then he can spend his entire life in the 20-gallon because he's small enough. But like, you can get a snake. Yes, and for the record, I did not find a Kenyan sand boa at the expo or at the reptile store for over $200, but that doesn't mean I'm just going to take $200 and buy a snake because you need the enclosed space for them, and you need to clutter up the tank, and you need to buy food, obviously, like frozen mice, or sometimes the babies will only feed on live mice, so I might have to buy some live mice, which I don't really like the thought of, but I pretty much committed myself to the fact that if I do get a snake and it does have to feed live, because you never know, if you get a snake, there's always going to be the chance that they're going to need to eat live. So I basically just committed myself. Okay, fine. If my snake has to eat live, I'm okay with that. Like, meaning I can do it. Not like I'm super happy about it or anything. It needs appropriate lighting. Like, for my Kenyan sandboa, I need a heat mat. I already have a heat mat because I bought one like months ago when I thought I was getting cockroaches, which required heat, but then I never got the cockroaches. So I just have a heat mat sitting there, and none of my animals so far have needed a heat mat. Like, they've always been cool with just my room temperature. Like, so I just leave it alone, to be quite honest, and then I'll just um they don't need heat, so I'm just saving the heat mat for when I do get a creature that needs a heat mat, which in this case looks like it's going to be the Kenyan sand boa. And also, there was the matter of vet bills because they can get pretty expensive for reptiles. Like, people are saying they've spent hundreds of dollars on their reptiles trying to, keep them alive or whatever, or they're sick and they had to spend a couple of $100s. So I'm thinking $500 is a good ceiling, is like a good amount to save up for. So I need a couple of $100s for the snake. I need probably about $100 to decorate the tank, or maybe more or less. I don't know. It could shift a little bit depending on like what I get and how much it is. But I'm probably gonna try and buy as much stuff as I can from from the used bin at at my local reptile store. That stuff is usually cheaper, so I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna try and buy all my decorations from there, and I already do have some decorations from before, so I'm gonna do that. And he has a water dish, but I'm gonna need to give him a bigger water dish in case he wants to have a little soak. Like when they're shedding, they sometimes want to make a little soak. And I'm also gonna get one of those like plastic containers, like a Ziploc container or something, that I'm gonna turn into a humid hide for when he needs to shed. Hang on. So snakes need high humidity when they're gonna shed, and snakes need high humidity when they're gonna shed. So a lot of people online recommend making it a little humid hide for him. So basically, you just cut part of the top out of a container so we can like crawl inside. And then you put a lot of like moss and stuff in there, and then you keep spraying it with water. And then when they're ready to shed, they can go in there, or you can like place them in there and they can shed there so that they can shed easier because snakes need high humidity when they're about to shed. So I've got the heat mat and I'm gonna make a humid hide out of one of my plastic containers. So there's that. I'm gonna do that too. And vet bills and all of that. So I don't know, let's say $200 for the snake and then $100 for the decorating the tank. And I don't know, I'm gonna need some money for somewhere to put the tank on because I don't really feel that comfortable just keeping it on the floor. And these coffee tables, like the one that I'm working on right now, they're pretty much the exact size that they're like the perfect size to put a 40-gallon tank on. So I'm gonna get another one of these and then I'm gonna put it over there in the corner where I have all my snake stuff. And because I have the 20-gallon tank, I think I already mentioned this, but I bought a used 20-gallon tank for $50. So even if I do have to upgrade, it's gonna be a couple of years before the snake needs a bigger tank. And like I said, if I got a male, they can spend their entire life in the 20-gallon tank because, like, um, the males are way smaller than the females. So they can live in the 20-gallon tank. And if I do get a female, I'll upgrade to a 40-gallon. Just, I'll do it later when they're older. But basically, that's what's going on in my life right now. I'm trying to get a snake, like, trying desperately. Um, my savings plan for my snake is going to change based on whether or not I get subsidized housing and based on whether or not I have to move in with my mom. But the guy says it's going to take a month or two to change out all the pipes and also deal with the ceiling. And I really hope subsidized housing comes through because, on top of just not wanting to live with my mom as much as I love her, I'm not going to be able to have my privacy or my life the way I want it to be. Like, it's just gonna be really stressful because I'm always gonna be worried that my mom is gonna walk in or whatever. Not gonna be able to record videos, probably not gonna be able to watch TV, depending on what happens there. Not gonna be able to, like, do other things. Like, there's a lot of stuff I'm not going to be able to do, and there's a lot of issues with living with my mom that I honestly don't want to get into because it's still a few months away, so who knows what could happen. And hopefully, subsidized housing will come through. I think last time I think my mom called them last year, and she said they were taking care of people who had gotten on the list in 2015. Um, and I got on the list in 2017, I believe. So who knows? Maybe they'll be dealing with people who are coming. Maybe they'll be dealing with people who had got on the list in 2017 soon, and I can still get subsidized housing. And also, subsidized housing could change what kind of pet I want to get. I know I definitely want a snake, but also at the same time, if I get subsidized housing, I want to get a cat too. Like, I'm saving a cat for subsidized housing, but if it comes through in the next few months, then I might just buy my snake, but then also buy a cat. My snake is priority, but I might also buy a cat and then just have it because the adoption fee at the Toronto Humane Society is like $200 for a cat. It's a little bit more for a kitten, which I'm it's just like why are they more money? Because they're literally smaller than the grown cats, and yet they're more money. I don't know. But either way, I can just go get a cat at the shelter, or I can look on Craigslist and find a cat. Like, if I wanted to go to Craigslist and find a cat, I could do that. And they might even be cheaper on there, and then I could get a cat when it was a kitten. Like, I'm not saying I'm gonna like, you know what? How I get the cat is none of other people's business, and I wish people wouldn't say adopt, don't shop so much because it doesn't fucking matter at the end of the day as long as you're not going to some like chain pet store like Petco or PetSmart and just like buying it from them and also just taking their advice on how to take care of it because mostly they give you just terrible advice about taking care of the animal. So if you want to do that, I would recommend going to either a mom and pop pet store which actually, my mom and pop pet store that was in my area was where I got my rats, and then they got shut down in, I'm pretty sure, February of 2022 or 2023. I don't remember. Wait, no, it was 2022. February of 2022. Yeah, and then I moved out a couple months later in April. And my rats lived till about June, so. But anyway, I'm gonna go now. Uh, I probably missed a bunch of stuff, but I'll do another vlog if I remember what I was gonna say. Either way, I'm just like, I don't know, I'm just interested to see what happens next. I'm hoping I don't have to move out and then move back because on top of not wanting to live with my mom, if I have to move all my stuff out and then back, nothing's gonna be the same, and it's gonna take me weeks, if not months, to feel comfortable in my own space again and safe. I don't know. It's just a really scary thought. I mean, there's also some issues with moving into subsidized housing that I'm worried about, but I don't know. Either way, if I have, I'll come back. I'll make another vlog when I remember some of this other stuff I was gonna say. Um, and I feel like my voice is lagging. I feel like the sync is a little bit off with my voice and also with the video. I could be wrong, but just in case it's slightly off, that's not my fault. I don't know why that's happening. Again, I could be wrong. Either way, I love each and every one of you guys. Please don't forget to always be yourself. And I will. Wait, no. Please. I love each and every one of you guys. Please don't forget to always be yourself. You are valid. Don't forget to be kind to yourself and to others. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.